This morning I've got an order for bread. So we are going to make some super squishy homemade sandwich bread. 2 cups of warm water. 1/4 cup of sugar. 3 tablespoons of yeast. Give this a quick mix. Let your yeast rise until it gets nice and bubbly. When your yeast starts looking real bubbly, because it will, we're going to add 2 eggs. One tablespoon of salt, and 1/3 cup of oil. I'm using vegetable. Give this a quick mix before we start adding our flour. All right. Now we're going to add 7 cups of flour total, but we're going to start with 3 and then build from there so we can make sure that we get the right consistency, a nice sticky dough that's not goopy on our fingers, so that we have a nice moist bread. It's not going to be super dry and crumbly. This recipe is going to make 3 loaves. Give it a mix. Add in another cup of flour. Add in another cup. It's important when you're doing this to make sure the flour mixes all the way in so that you don't have extra flour sitting in the bottom that's going to later get worked in and make your dough tough. Right now, it's starting to look more like a dough, but it's still quite sticky and goopy. We're at 5 cups. So I'm going to start adding in 1/2 cup at a time. My dough is starting to stick to my hook. We're getting close. 1/2 cup. We're at 6 cups now. You see this? This is what I mean whenever I say glooping on your hands. That's still too wet. I just scrape my dough hook. Let it get back in and get all the pieces. So today we're at 6 cups, I believe, possibly 6.5. I'll have to look. And it's not sticking, it's not glooping up on my finger anymore. So this is about where you want it. It's still wet. It's sticky, but it's not sticking to my finger. So at this point, I'm going to let it go in the stand mixer. For about 10 minutes. The more that you work dough, the more gluten, the more squish that you're going to get in your bread. So if you're doing this by hand, 10 minutes is the minimum. I'd probably go 15. But for my stand mixer, I'm going to let it go for about 10 minutes, whereas I usually would have done about 5 for most other recipes. But for my bread, I really like a nice squishy bread. I have a super smooth dough here. It's very soft. It's sticky. It's not sticking to my hands. And it's beautiful. It's very squishy right now. I sprayed some olive oil in my bowl, same one I just made the dough in. Now I'm going to put it back in the same bowl. I'm going to cover it up. I'm probably going to put mine in the dehydrator to get this thing going, so I'll cover it with a shower cap with some water splashed in the top. Normally, you just throw a kitchen towel over this, leave it on the counter for an hour. I don't have an hour, so I'm going to get this going. My dough has doubled. I did the poke test. It's not springing back. Throw it out onto the counter. Ooh, super soft. Now I said this is going to make 3 loaves. It probably would. But I just realized I only have 2 bread pans. So I'm going to make 2, and they're probably going to be huge. Start with half of it. And take my rolling pin. You could also just push this out. You're not looking for any specific shape. I'm going to make it to where you can see better. Just rolling it out like that. Now I'm going to roll like this, just to shape it a little. Tuck the ends in, like that. I watched a video of an Amish girl. It says you gotta do that so you don't have big air bubbles. I don't know if it works, but I'm gonna do it. Put that in my greased loaf pan. Let's get the other one. Now I have both of them done. I'm going to take my kitchen towel and cover them up. And I'm going to set my oven to 375. I'm going to let these rise for about 30 minutes. I'm going to put them on top of my stove because it gets nice and warm from the oven preheating. If you don't want to bake your bread right away, maybe you want to have fresh bread first thing in the morning and you're making this at night, go ahead and put it in the refrigerator now before it does its second rise. And then before you want to bake it, set it out maybe an hour, hour and a half ahead of time. Let it come to room temperature and then rise. And then we'll bake. This is what our bread's looking like. It's beautifully puffed up. These are going to be huge. So our oven is preheated to 375. We're going to put these in for 25 minutes and check on them. When you knock on it, it should sound pretty hollow. If it's not, put it back in for a few more minutes. Watch it. If you need to tint it so it doesn't over brown, that's fine too, but I usually don't have to. Look how gorgeous this is. Mine baked for 25 minutes. Now if you knock on it, sounds pretty hollow. I'm going to take some clarified butter. Regular butter is fine. I just have the clarified. It's easy to dip into with my brush. I'm going to brush the top. That makes the crust a little softer so it's not so hard to bite into. My husband, my sweet husband, bought me one of these at the gas station this morning because he loves me and because he knows how much I love these fried pies. But I knew that we were going to be making bread today, and there is nothing better than a slice of fresh white bread with some butter and some peach jam, and I've been so looking forward to this. Now, you're not really supposed to slice into bread while it's this hot because it'll fall apart, and it does. But look how squishy this is. It's so good. I'm really regretting running out of real butter because this is my favorite thing in the world. Now you know that the jam is really good when this is the only amount that you ever find in the refrigerator. The cinnamon peach jam is where it's at for real. This is so good.